All tonight, first of four. Doubleheader tomorrow, so 4 in all against the White Sox. 7:10 is your start tonight. It was a wild weekend in Kansas City. The Royals taken 2 of 3, but that Guardians win was a 13-1 final on Saturday. That's what you call cold bats in Kansas City. So they'll start up tonight. 7:10 is the start here on MMS. 6:30 something. After we get out of here is when that Guardians Live pregame will begin. You can leave us messages, too. A lot of people do on the iHeartRadio app, right? A little talkback button there.
Mary, I am 38 years old and just ate a half a sleeve of club crackers last night as a snack. Hell yeah. Hashtag club crackers for life.
Hashtag club crackers, I assume the number 4, life.
Club crackers are good, man. They're my go-to soup cracker, too, but they are good for just a snack.
Not oyster crackers?
No,
okay.
Too dry.
Too dry, but you put them in soup.
Yeah.
Then they become wet.
Not as wet as a club cracker.
Wow, you like your wet soup crackers.
Like a mushy soup cracker. It's like a... I eat all the...
I was thinking her spit.
Yeah, I like eating the stuff out of the soup. So if I have chicken noodle soup, I'll eat all the noodles and chicken and vegetables, and then I put the crackers into the broth. And then I let that...
So some nice soggy cracker soup.
No, I eat them fast enough.
Do you ever eat cheese and crackers?
Yes, big fan.
Okay. Do you get the cracker cuts, or do you cut the cheese yourself? Yeah. Do you cut your own cheese, or do you use the cracker cuts?
I will usually buy the block of cheese.
A block of cheese?
And cut it. Yeah.
All right.
There's really good cheese that I like that I get when I'm like wanting to splurge. I think I've talked about it before. They have it at the West Side Market. There's this cheese lady. Mm-hmm. It's like a 4-year cave-aged cheddar. And it's got like crystallization in it, so when you eat it, it like melts in your mouth. But it's like $22 a pound. So I gotta
cave aged. I mean, this is going to cost you.
Oh yeah, but it's so good. So probably once a year, I'll go buy like a half-pound block of that, and I'll slice that up and put that.
A half a pound.
I don't eat it in one sitting, but that's
well,
something.
I'm not suggesting you do, but
yeah.
I mean that's a lot of cheese to have on hand.
I'm splurging. Wow. So over the course of a week or whatever,
where's the cave?
Quebec.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Because they're always really vague about where these caves are.
Yeah, because then you're just going to get it right from the cave.
Yeah.
Can't. They got to keep their cave secret.
Secret cheese cave.
Yeah,
I guess so.
Caves, they're very important.
If you listen to the show on iHeartRadio...
Also, how'd they figure that out? How are they like, if we put this cheese in a cave for a while?
Dude, I don't know. I feel like France did it or something.
Yeah, I think it's a big deal. They're cheesemongers who know all this stuff, and it's thousands of years old that they've been doing cave-aged cheese.
You got to think, at one point, and probably now too, that's the person's whole livelihood depended on how well received their cheese was. So they're trying everything. Putting it in caves, burying it in the ground, petting the cows, whipping the cows. What will produce the best cheese?
Petting or whipping.
Right.
We've spent 3 generations, son, petting these cows, and guess what? The cheese has been subpar at best. You know what we're going to start doing? We're going to switch to a more whip-centric cheese mongering.
I like whipped cream cheese. Is that from a whipped cow? Because I don't want that cow to be hurt like that.
Well, that's what it is.
Oh, I'll have to switch
Just
up.
like chocolate milk comes from brown cows. Whipped cream comes from whipped
Now, this is news to me. I didn't know that. If you listen to the show on iHeartRadio and you do it from outside Ohio, tell me where. I'll make sure you got your pin on our map across North America. What's that?
Also, lucky you if you're not in Ohio.
Why? I like it here.
Because we're losing all the doctors, you mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of dumb stuff about Ohio.
Sure. Well, it is the Florida of the North. Mm-hmm. Kyle is a bureau chief in Gladwin, Michigan. Greg, speaking of Canada, he's in Temagami, Ontario. Catherine listens in Tampa. Lori is a bureau chief in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And Marty is our one bureau chief in Flagstaff, Arizona. Some people call Arizona Desert, Florida. And there are 2 cops that are in trouble in Flagstaff because they were confused when they were doing undercover massage parlor stings.
Uh-oh.
They didn't know that they weren't supposed to go super deep undercover and get the services.
I thought they went so deep that they became the massage therapists.
No.
But they started doing the rubbing and tugging.
No, 2 Flagstaff cops got fully naked and got services 8 different times during their stings of the massage parlors.
A lot of evidence they collected.
And I was like, well, if you want me to take them off. And so she was like, well, your comfort, if you want them off or you don't want oil on them. There was kind of some confusion on that. So I ended up taking them off. And that's what I felt like the suggestion was from her. That's when I immediately started asking about the money and like how much. I've never done one of these, so I was fairly nervous and I didn't know where to like stop it. So I was trying to stop it quickly. So I had just like put my hand on the back of her calf. She like laughed about it. And then shortly after that, we did the rest of the stuff. And then she had me roll over.
Uh-huh. I mean, I was just confused. What about the 7 times after that? Listen, I'm easily confused. I have bad short-term memory. So that was part of that officer's deposition, since these guys are in a lot of trouble now. But what do you expect, right? It's like all those movies like, God, what did I just watch again? A great underrated movie with, is it Narc with Jason Patrick and Ray Liotta? Great underrated movie where these guys go deep undercover as narcotics officers. And so nobody can know they're a cop.
Yeah.
And they're hanging with all kinds of unsavory characters. Same thing here.
Like The Departed, Leonardo DiCaprio. He's super deep undercover.
That's right.
Doing things he doesn't want to do.
Doesn't want to do, but he's got to. So these Flagstaff cops stripped down to their birthday suit and got repeatedly fondled 8 different times. I shudder to think what would have happened had they done it one more time.
9 times.
So these guys, Operation High Country Hydra. Who names these? I'd love to hear from somebody over at the Cleveland FBI field office. Who names the operations? Is there an SAC who does it? Is that everybody take suggestions and throw it in a fishbowl and pull one out? Operation High Country Hydra. Of course, the Hydra, the mythical creature with multiple heads.
I get it. I see.
Now, I don't know if that's what they meant, but that's where my brain went.
Hope they weren't cutting them off.
Hey, go ahead. 2 more will appear in its place. So these guys are, the operation was approved by federal agents. It was a tip, if you will, called in a couple of years ago about massage parlors accepting money for sex. Yeah. Never heard of such a thing. And they, it pretty much, this is what cratered the greater Warren metropolitan area, right? Wasn't it Warren, the rub and tug of Northeast Ohio?
They had a bunch.
Rub and tug capital.
I feel like they should concentrate more on the human trafficking aspect and not.
Well, these are always, but that's what these operations are, always human trafficking operations. But this one in Flagstaff, they said when the investigation was complete, not a single trafficking victim had been identified. Because the women would probably have to come forward and go, I'm doing this against my will, I'm being trafficked. But police arrested 13 people, just not anyone from the massage parlor. And so the cops were like, I didn't know where to stop. I'm new to the force. Officer Eberhard, that's the name. That's the name. Officer Eberhard allowed different women to touch him 7 more times over the next 48 hours. How long was this guy? I thought they meant like multiple times over a couple of months.
That's what I thought too.
48 hours.
48 hours.
I was confused.
I'm not even upset anymore. I'm impressed. Good job, guys.
Good job, Eberhard.
Mm-hmm. He lives up to his name.
Roughly 3 months later, another Flagstaff cop, Officer Hutchinson, did the same thing. He said he went back for the second round to see if the businesses would accept debit cards. Because then you get them on wire fraud, right?
They've also all been offered jobs with the Cleveland Browns.
Of course, the federal agents had to tell these guys, you can't exchange money for sex while on duty. It's clearly a crime. And that's, listen,
also,
there are a lot of
when
people
you're off duty either.
People, right? People assume that police officers know every inch of the law, chapter and verse. And a lot of time they don't. They're like, I don't know what's going on.
But also, it's time to just make prostitution legal across the United States.
Indeed.
It's just time.
Let me give you $1,000 here. Do with that whatever you will. If you think of yourself as an Officer Eberhard, just be careful. Watch your six. $1,000 chance for you to go fuel yourself. Listen closely. Good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fuel yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword BONUS at WMMS.com. That's BONUS. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
Alan, I owe you an apology. That's what this email says.
Why even send this email?
Right.
What?
Nothing.
Why send it? Why not?
Let's hear what they have to say.
It's a free exchange of ideas around here. I mocked and ridiculed you for 10-seconding your way through television shows and movies. Hey, you're not alone, and thus far, yours is the only apology I've gotten. But you know what? I'm not in it for the apologies. If I can help one or two people improve their UX, as the nerds say, I decided to finally watch Stranger Things, and I am convinced there was no other way to watch this season than 10-seconding through the show. I apologize for ever doubting you. See, the irony is, I watched the whole season in real time. Out of all of the things I didn't 10-second my way through Stranger Things, holy cow, was that an incredible commitment. The season of Stranger Things. And, spoiler alert, you're basically at square one at the end of it. So I'm not quite sure what all of the multiple interlocking stories were for, or why each episode was 90 minutes long. Like the finale episode.
It's over 2 hours.
It's 2 hours and 22 minutes. It's like watching The Batman.
Why not just break that up into 2 episodes? That's what I don't understand.
Why not just make the season 40-minute episodes? So much they could have chopped out of this season. And I told you they're already doing spin-offs. And have you heard this trailer? The spin-off ideas are getting ridiculous for this.
Then I got on the bus, and they found your father to move in. But he said, no, you have to go to the big city of Chicago to find my son. That's you.
Look, I can't just turn you out into the cold.
Don't worry about me. I know where I'm going.
Where are you going?
I don't know.
I'm feeling strange.
No, it's okay. Cousin, this is no time to place blame. Sure, we're no longer tethered to Mother Earth, but we're communing with Father Sky.
Oh, God. Did you see what they're doing, Bill?
Perfect Stranger Things.
Perfect Stranger Things. Oh, God. Come on. They're just getting goddamn ridiculous with these spin-offs. Spare me. Oh, it's so dumb.
It's silly.
I couldn't tell if it should be Perfect Stranger Things or Perfect Strangers Things. But who cares? I mean, they couldn't figure out if it should be...
Yeah, they couldn't figure it out.
They couldn't figure out if it was supposed to be one or the other. Mm-hmm. No, we finally finished Stranger Things, and Gwen and I were both like, what is going on? What?
Well, that's what we're going to find out in the next season. We will find out what is going on.
Yeah, I thought this was the last one. I think a lot of people thought this was the last one, and they go, oh, well, it's silly that the episodes are this long, but they're finishing the series, and that's why it's the last one. Yeah. And they're like, no, season 5, maybe they'll go the exact opposite way with season 5. Every episode will be like 25 minutes long. Be like an episode of Bluey. There'll be 13 minutes apiece.
There's a prequel to Game of Thrones coming out, and I'm like debating if I want to rewatch Game of Thrones before, because I would have to start now to rewatch it. But I'm like, man, that last season was so bad.
Do like the early seasons.
Well, that's why I'm
and
like,
then stop at like 5.
Yeah.
I have never watched Game of Thrones.
It's really good for a long time. And then I don't know what happened, but they just stopped caring, or they cut all the money. I don't know what they did.
It wasn't that they cut all the money. I think that they got other projects and they weren't as concentrated on doing that show.
Whatever it was, it sucked because those are also hour-and-a-half episodes in the last season. And the last season was
7?
terrible.
Yeah, it's so bad. Like, I wanted to like it, but
they're so long.
Yeah.
And you're at that point, you're like, I've dedicated 8 years of my life to this.
It doesn't feel like the same show. That's how
Right.
bad it is. Where like there's a lot of nuance and great storytelling and great acting, and then it gets to the last season and it just feels so different. It's really a bummer.
Alan, please tell me that Mary lets her cheese get to room temperature before eating it. Is that a thing?
I think with nice cheese, you're supposed to do that.
You mean cave temperature?
Cave temperature cheese, yeah.
I think that'd be pretty cold.
I don't do that with like regular cheese, like the shredded cheese I put in my omelet. No, I don't
That
do
you're
that.
eating over the sink.
Right. I'm pouring the bag into my face. No, I don't do that. I weigh out 28 grams and I put it into my omelet.
Alan, I've worked Vice before, and chicks will quickly try to latch onto your junk to see if you are a cop. It can get real hard, no pun, to talk around that.
Cleveland, you can walk outside butt naked. You go to Cleveland Heights, they're going to arrest you, say you raped somebody because you're butt naked. The police is running it all.
Running it all.
I've played that clip is so old, and I've played it so many times, but that I've kind of stopped paying attention to what she says, and it is great.
Yeah.
They're going to stop you because you're running around naked. They're going to accuse you of raping somebody just because you're naked.
Yeah.
Can't somebody run around naked anymore?
No.
Not in Cleveland Heights.
They're going to arrest you because the police is running it all. I'll tell you what, when it comes to arrests, those police, they really got that sewn up, don't they? They've really cornered the market on arresting naked people. Share the wealth.
It's got to be so annoying as a cop. You're like, man, come on. My job, I already have to deal with you, and now you're naked? I don't want to be near your...
Well, the other thing out in Arizona is that they've passed a law. The governor has signed it into law that you can't record the cops from fewer than 8 feet away. And there's a lot of people freaking out about this. I'm like, well, 8 feet. I mean, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to just not get people to film cops. It's got nothing to do with, like, protecting that, because a cop can just run towards you and then arrest you for filming him closer than 8 feet.
You're too close now.
That's right. So I guess in Arizona, you always have to have a tape measure on you from here on out. But, and again, if there's something going on where you're in the middle of some situation... Because there are a couple of exceptions, like if you're in your car and they're coming, I think you can film that way. But, if somebody just walks towards you and starts yelling at you, you can't film them?
Yeah, that's a dumb rule.
I mean, I get whatever. So just make sure, if you're one of our bureau chiefs in Arizona, just make sure that you always have a tape measure on you so that you can just whip that out. You clip it to your belt. Have it in a rucksack, something.
I just feel like those people that were walking around when social distancing was at its peak, and they'd have the big hoop around them.
Yeah,
hula hoop.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you figure if there's something, if you're walking up and the cop is already in the middle of, I don't know, talking to somebody or kicking them away, you're not going to get right in their face. So 8 feet is probably not too much to ask, but
right. But then if they do keep coming towards you,
right?
Then they're like, well, you're trying to. I'm trying to stay 8 feet away from you so I can record you, officer. That's all I'm trying to do.
And then he's chasing you because you're trying to stay 8 feet away.
But then
you got to go, somebody else record this so I can... You got to pass it off.
It's a whole thing. Police officers in the state of Arizona are some of the highest paid state employees, by the way. So if you're looking for a gig that you don't mind, you'll be on the front lines of the water wars in no time. Become a cop. Statey for Arizona. I got a break. If you want to text for anything, 35192. AlanCoxShow.com, you want to watch, and you can listen anywhere on the iHeartRadio app.